All right, great to see everyone. We are going to be getting started today with our live demo and question and answer. And so just want to take a few moments to allow people to head in here. Sakshi, how are you? Sakshi, do you have the guest link to join us? If not, it is in the it's in the group, but let me see if I can get it for you. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Sakshi, I'm going to go ahead and paste that link for you. There. All right. Good. So we're going to be having some guests to join us today. And what those guests are going to do is they're going to be sharing with you from their perspective and their own experiences how their hard work in conjunction with Pro90D is helping them transform their speech, their careers, and their lives. So we'll have a handful of people who will be coming in. Some are previous coaching clients, some are current students. And so you're going to see a wide variety of people. Some are at various stages of their development, right? Some are much, much further along. Some are more at the middle and beginning stages. So the first thing that we want to do, of course, is to thank all of you for being here today. Feel free to post your questions in the chat. We know that there should also be people watching this live in our Facebook group. We won't be able to see those questions here, but Sakshi will try to monitor some of those questions so that we can answer those. This is a live demo and question and answer. So I want to try to definitely answer your questions. Once again, I want to thank everyone who is joining us. We will be having some other folks, hopefully, will be able to join us today. So yes, do please post your questions. Sakshi will try to monitor those. And that's the reason that we're here today. So what I'd like to do first is to give you a high-level overview. So the question is, how can Pro90D help you take your speech to that next level? If you are here today and you're watching this, it is probably because you stutter, stammer, block. Maybe you speak too fast. Maybe you don't stutter, stammer at all, but you speak too fast and it's hard for people to understand you. Maybe you only have trouble in certain situations, high pressure situations that maybe you consider to be high pressure. So that could be something like when you're speaking to someone in authority, or you're speaking to someone that you don't know, or you're speaking on video. Now, most of us are doing a lot of our work via video. So for some people, that's high pressure because it's different. It could be when you're ordering food. For other folks, it's like when they have to introduce themselves. So we can go on and on. But it's the fact that you may struggle with your speech and it is preventing you or limiting you or slowing you down in some way from achieving the goals that you have set for yourself, from achieving your dreams, from doing the things that you feel called to do. It may very well be limiting your career potential. And in most cases, it is, even if it's a self-imposed limitation, because you may feel like you're not able to communicate in the way that you would like. And so you've limited your career options, in which case you're limiting your income potential. And you also may be limiting your ability to impact and to help other people, right? Things that you really want to speak up, things that you really want to do and say, you may not be doing that. So is there something out there like Pro90D that can actually help you release and go beyond those limits? So what I want to do is to give you a high-level overview. And for each area that I talk about, we're going to have some folks to come on and respond. Sakshi, if you could also do me a favor and keep an eye on the WhatsApp group. We do have a private WhatsApp group for all of our coaching clients and self-study students. And so you become a member of that, and you're able to communicate with us as well as some other things that we'll talk about. Saks, if you can keep an eye on that to make sure that some of our other guests are able to get in. So check out the coaching group and the Pro90D group to see if people have some questions, because I won't be able to look at that right now. So let me just share my screen, and then we're going to have some of our guests to come on and address some of these things as well. Just give me a second here. Okay. So hopefully you guys can see this. Okay. All right. Hopefully you guys can see this. Nadish, can you see the slide that I have here? Yes. Okay. All right. Good. So high level overview. We're going to talk about each one of these. Okay. And this first one is that Pro90D gives you a turn-by-turn or step-by-step system. It gives you a roadmap or a step-by-step system in the whole program itself, but primarily in its daily blueprint of activity. So it says, here's what you need to do each and every day to transform. There's 3 areas that Pro90D helps you transform, and I'm going to write those on the board right now. But the first one is that we give you a step-by-step system. Okay, so let's come back here, and I'm going to talk to you about what we help you transform. So the first one is your speaking style. Your speaking style, right? So we want to go from stuttering speech, or whatever the challenge is, to smooth speech. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is your mindset. And many of you know from watching this that mindset is very, very important. If before you even open your mouth, sometimes you are already anticipating that you're going to get stuck, that you're going to have problems, right? So mindset, the way you think about your speech and about your speaking situations, is very, very important. So it's not just your speech, but it's also your mindset. Sometimes you know that if you feel confident, you tend to speak better. If you feel more relaxed, you tend to speak better. If you're anticipating and you're worrying, or you're beating yourself up about something that happened before, then you see that your speech can decline and that you don't speak as well. So mindset. So the second thing that we're going to transform is your mindset from what we might call a stuttering mindset to a confident mindset. All right. And then the last one here is your speaking identity. I'm just going to abbreviate it. Speaking identity. And again, it's going to go from a stuttering speaking identity. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, we mean that some of you may see yourself as a person who tends to stutter, stammer, block, get stuck, not be able to communicate as well as you would like. So you see yourself that way. You believe yourself to be that kind of a person. But there may be something back there that says, but you know what? I know I'm capable of doing more. I'm capable of speaking better, but I just can't figure out how to implement it, how to do that. So Pro90D helps you transform your speaking identity, which is also critically important. If you just work on your speech and you forget about the other two, as soon as you get stuck, as soon as you have some problems, the other two, your mindset and your identity, will pull you back, pull you back. We'll have some of our clients talk about that. So we go from a stuttering speaking identity to a confident speaking identity. All right. So the first thing is that we give you a daily blueprint of activities. Let's bring on some of our previous clients and students, current students, and so forth. I'm just going to add them here. I'm going to add Sakshi. I'm going to add Farouk. Okay. Good to see everybody. I hope you guys can all see this. I'm going to stop sharing the other screen here. So, guys, let's just go around. The first thing that we want to talk about is the daily routine, how that's helpful to you why it's important and how you believe that this can help other people who are just out there looking for stuff, trying to piece a system together. So let's just talk about that. Let's start with whoever would like to start. So who would like to address the daily blueprint or daily routine, as I usually call it?
Maybe I can start, Michael. Or
Okay,
Farooq,
Nadish.
you can go ahead. If you
All right.
want to, Farooq.
Let's start with
sure.
Nadish.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much, Michael, for this opportunity. First of all, I'm really honored to be here, and it's been a very great journey for me. I have started with Michael Williams back in 2018. I would say end of 2018, and it has been a great journey till now. And still, I'm practicing, and there's a lot to practice still. So I'm also a part of the group, which is there in Hangout, and we practice a lot. So coming to this Pro90D, I think it's a very systematic platform. I had chat with many other people, and I always say and always encourage that this is a very good platform wherein you get daily steps and you can just work on those steps. And you can see me here. In fact, in just 1.5 years, I would say intense practicing, I have reached to a level wherein I can easily express my thoughts and my feelings to anyone. So which was earlier, I don't think it was, I was anywhere close to it. So talking about the steps, I would say that the steps are like 7 steps that I usually follow. And it's been almost 2 years now, and I still do it. I still wake up in the morning, and I start with my affirmations. And I tell myself that yes, I am the great speaker, which I am now. So ultimately, I have just made it true. And then obviously, I just work on other steps as well. Some of the steps are like extending your words, blending your words, finishing your words, using AF flow linking, and so on and so forth. And but one of the most important step that I really do is affirmations and relaxation. There are a lot of material in Michael Williams, the Pro90D course, which helps you to relax. 777 technique. A lot other things are there, which will definitely relax you more and more. So I think the program is developed in such a systematic way that it will help you to start speaking from the scratch and will take you till the end, till you actually try to embed everything in you and become a great speaker. So that is about the blueprint I was talking about, especially about the 7 steps, which I usually follow, and I still do it after 2 years. Thanks.
Thank you, Nadish. Let's go to Farooq and then Ganraj. Okay.
Yeah, sure. So I would like to say hello to all of you. It's one more great opportunity for all of us to speak right here in this webinar. So I think some great points have already been mentioned. And I would just like to say one thing, that whatever you are working on in your speech, and this system has a whole lot of skills that you have to work on. It is based on not only just changing the way you speak, but also to change the way that is, in fact, to also change your mindset. But the main point is that you have to work each and every single day on your speech. That has happened with me, that has happened with many of the members, that if you are not working on your speech for some days, for a week or so, so after a while, you start to see that your old speaking style just starts to get in. So you have to make sure that you work on your speech each and every single day. And you have to make sure you do that, especially at the start. So you have to work at it each and every single day. And you see how much smoother your speech becomes each and every single day. And after a while, you see that it's no longer a new speaking style for you. It's your own speaking style. So that's how it is.
Thank you, Farooq. Thank you, Farooq.
Thank you.
Ganraj.
Yep, sure. So, first of all, I really want to thank you, Mr. Michael, for giving all of us this wonderful opportunity to share our thoughts, which we have gained in this program. So, first of all, I think that this daily blueprint that we guys have is really essential to give the direction to our speech journey, because I think you also mentioned in one of the videos, I guess, that if that only one single direction can change your entire viewpoint of your life. So if you have the daily confined steps that you have to follow on the regular basis, which you have to follow if you have to completely transform your speech up to the next level and to say whatever you want to say in the way you want to say it, then I think the only way is to confine yourself with this daily blueprint that we guys all have over here. The first thing, which is I think pretty much very essential in this blueprint, is the mindset changing, and that can be caused by the affirmations, the powerful affirmations. And you just don't have to say it like the layman, but you have to feel those affirmations as well. And the daily blueprint is designed in such a way, I guess, that it will definitely transform your entire language of your body, your thinking personality, etc. things also. So I thought that this daily blueprint has really helped me. And I think that maintaining consistency is really the difficult thing, but we have to do it. So, yep, that's all from me about this.
Thank you. Sakshi, did you have anything to add?
Not really. I think everyone covered the most important things, that basically speech is something that we learn, and through Pro90D we're learning a new way of speech, which is smooth and confident. And yeah, through the daily practice, we're actually reinforcing that kind of speech, and that's how we transform it.
Right. So, very important, guys. So you just heard basically from a couple of students, a couple of previous coaching clients. Sakshi not only was a previous student coaching client, but now she's also a coach. Nadish, he was a previous coaching client, and he also is an accountant, does lots of speaking. Farouk, he, if I'm correct, and you can correct me if I'm not, but you rarely speak English. I think you speak English a lot more now, but when you started, English was definitely a second language of yours. And so on a daily basis, I think you only speak English with our group, but all the other times you speak another language. And so you've also transformed your speech. Ganraj, I know, is one of the leaders of our group that meets just about every single day. So he's been working hard. So we just want you to kind of get an idea of who's here with us. So someone left a comment, Pro90D is too expensive. So I don't want to address that verbally right now, but I know there are some people out there who are watching who can actually address that via the chat, and maybe we'll address that later. So I'm just going to pose a simple question to you. For some of you, depending on where you live and your income, it may be too expensive, which is why we have so many free resources on YouTube alone, right, where you can get what you need. But essentially, one day you're going to have a job if you don't have one already, and you're not going to do it for free. You're going to ask someone to pay you. So this is my job. This is my career. This is my calling. And this is the only way that I earn an income, is when people purchase a course and do the coaching. And rightfully so, you should be paid for the contributions that you make in the world. But the question that you want to ask yourself is, whatever the price for the program is, it's $199, $499, a couple of $1,000, ask yourself, by improving your communication skills, which is really what we're doing, right? It's not just about speech and stuttering. We're about leveling up your communication skills. Improving your communication skills. Will you earn that money back at some point? will you earn $200, $500, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000? Will you earn that back? For some of you, you'll earn it back in a day, in a week, in a month, 6 months or a year, a couple of years. But will you earn it back by improving your communication skills? Now, Warren Buffett says that you can increase your value by at least 50% by improving your communication skills. If you stutter or stammer or block, you're going to increase your value by way more than that, because you are probably earning way less than what you could if you communicated just at a basic level, right? Pro90D is about helping you improve your communications, become an excellent speaker. So the question is not, or the statement shouldn't really be, it's too expensive. It's, is this an investment? Is this an investment? Can I earn at least this money back by investing back into myself? So I'll just leave that with you, and we can maybe chat about that later. The second thing that I want to look at, though, here is mindset. So we've kind of talked about this. Mindset is the second thing. I'll share my screen with you really quick. All right. So the first thing is you get a daily blueprint of activities packaged inside the entire system. The second thing that you're going to get, that's obviously a part of this daily blueprint, is a way to replace your mindset, the way that you think. You have a way of thinking right now about your speech, about your speaking situations, about certain words and letters and sounds, right? You have a way of thinking. So the question is, how can Pro90D help you replace that way of thinking? Well, let me just give you, in fact, let me just get back to that screen again, because it's right there. So how do we do that? You get daily audios and videos. It's a technique we call verbalization and visualization. They're related, but they're not exactly the same. Verbalization is a specialized technique that we've developed in Pro90D that actually helps you visualize and verbalize. You also get a specific series of audios called How to Retrain Your Brain that really talks about the neuroscience and gives you exact steps to help you change the way you think, along with our 7 steps programs, right? And you get affirmations, right? So you don't just get one thing, but you get a whole package of things that are specifically designed to help you change your mindset. With that said, let's talk to some of our guests about the importance of transforming your mindset. So let's just take a few seconds or a minute or so and talk about how Pro90D helps you change the way that you think. So let's start with Farouk. Farouk, just spend several seconds. We want to try to be kind of brief, but spend a few seconds talking about mindset.
Excellent point you mentioned, Mr. Michael. And for me, and I guess for most of us, it is the main thing. As I mentioned, it is your speaking style and there is your mindset. But the main point is your mindset. The main case is the way that you can change your mindset. So I believe that if you change your mindset, this speaking style would change on its own. So it's really a very key point to work on changing this mindset. And in this system, we have all that can help us to change our mindset. That is how we can just relax ourselves down and how we can stay more cool, calm, and relaxed while we are speaking. And the basic thing that helps to change the mindset is the foundation of the system, that is modeling. So when you speak like someone else, when you know you are not yourself right now, you are someone else. So it really brings a big change in your mindset, and that big change in your mindset really just brings a big change in your speech and in your speaking style. So for me, as I said, and for most of us, I guess it is the most important thing. that we have to work on. I hope I was brief.
Yes, you were, sir. Thank you. Let's go to Ganraj. What would you like to add about mindset?
Yep, sure. And I was actually very much keen to talk on this issue, that is mindset, since I had experienced these situations many a times prior to the Pro90D, that usually what I feel was the main issue with the people who have struggled with their speech is their mindset and the way they are trying to look at themselves. So the main thing in doing anything in the life, not only speech, is your way of looking towards yourself, whether you are feeling confident or not towards doing that thing. So it's all about the mindset that you can achieve anything, according to me, if you have the positive, right mindset that is pointed to the certain direction in the life. So yes, I definitely agree with this fact that changing mindset is the thing which I think 50% of the times we guys are focusing on, since all the days are not same. There are some situations where we still face the struggles with our speech, but the one thing which really gives us that boost, that next day or maybe next moment I will be able to perform really better as compared to the previous moment, is the way of looking at ourselves as the positive, and that yes, we can achieve that goal which we have set for the life. And there are various sections in this self-study. I am the self-study guide, who, for those who do not know me. So in the app, there are the various sections where if you just try to listen to those audios, it automatically gets fitted into your mind. And whenever you try to say certain words or maybe phrases or do the normal conversations, those things suddenly strikes you, and you just feel that you are not the same person that you were there. So I think that this is the main important thing, that yes, we definitely need to change the mindset of looking at ourselves. And yes, I
Thank
hope
you.
I'm too short.
Thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate that. Um, Nadish, actually, let's get to you after we bring Kieran in, because this is her first time on. So Kieran, as you probably heard already, we're just talking about the mindset aspect, how important that is in changing our speech, right? And taking our speech career and life to the next level. So briefly, share the importance of mindset to you, and maybe a little bit about how the program has helped you do that. Then we'll go on to Nadish.
Sure. So, hi, everyone. It's really nice to see everyone here. I think that a really important part of becoming a better and a smoother speaker is to set certain expectations for yourself. And I think that one of the very important things that you're taught right from the get go in the Pro90D program is what to expect, and why it's important that you still expect something from the program. So I think that the mindset that it's really important for you to have is to know that smooth speech is a journey. It's not a goal. I think that's the most important thing for everybody to recognize right from the beginning. You're not just trying to become somebody who can have smooth speech. You're trying to become somebody who's an incredible speaker. So you not just your goal is not really only speaking fluently, but you learn so many other important skills and aspects of smooth speech, which include inflecting when you speak, speaking with energy, speaking dynamically, speaking with enthusiasm. So I think that from the mindset perspective, it's really important to go into the program knowing that you want to be on a journey of becoming an incredible speaker. Yeah.
Excellent point. Excellent point. That definitely stands squarely in our mindset and how we're thinking about ourselves, the whole journey, the process. So Nadish, what do you have to say about mindset?
Okay, sure. Thank you so much, Michael. So I'll just try to hit the nail by just sharing my experiences. In fact, my pre and post experience. So it was a transformational journey. So I'll just try to provide you my mindset before joining the course and then after joining the course. And I think many of you can relate to my journey. Before joining the course, I was scared. I was not confident. I was babbling. I never wanted to achieve something in life. I think this was my mindset. I was really demotivated. That was one of the things. And I have assured and assumed things that okay, I will not achieve anything in life, anything which others can achieve. Even though I am very studious, but if you are not able to express your thoughts, your ideas, and I think your studious mind will go is basically of no use. But after joining Michael Williams, I would say that I got a direction. Um, in fact, my mind actually got a direction, and I think that's the thing which Pro90D basically brought into my head, right? And I really got a series of steps which I can practice every day. If you basically go and see YouTube, you will not get a definite steps to work on, right? You will get n number of videos which I also saw, but in Pro90D, they will actually provide you a series of steps as to what you need to do first, what you need to do second. I think that's the way you have to work. So every morning when I get up, I know that okay, today is step 3. I practice that step. I sleep. Tomorrow is step 4, and I know that I am doing a series of steps which is actually helping me, so on and so forth. Continuously do that, and I think I saw the progress. And then I think one thing which Farooq really explained better is like modeling. I think that's the final step which I practice and I just banged on. And right now as well, if I'm talking, I am remembering everything that I was taught by Michael, and obviously I always keep his image in my mind. And there are instances wherein I do struggle a bit in certain situations, but as and when I go to the stage and just take a deep breath and imagine that okay, I am Michael Williams, I think the road actually becomes really smooth for me. So I think changing your mindset, be confident, and I think that's the road to a successful journey. Thank you.
Very good. We will get to Dr. Vinya and Sakshi and a couple of the other points. I do want to transition because we've already talked about some of the other points. But let me just say this first. You all don't have to model me, obviously. There are some of you watching who are not in this program. You can pick any model that you want. There are some guidelines that you should use. You probably don't want to pick someone who speaks really fast. That's probably not going to be helpful. Can it? Of course it can. Anything is possible. Obviously, there are those of you out there who have addressed stuttering without Pro90D. Okay, you've pieced together your own methods and ways. So, of course, it's possible for you to overcome stuttering or become an excellent speaker without Pro90D. Absolutely. Of course, you don't have to use modeling. Okay, but the thing that you want to know is that I and we have spent decades, literally decades. I probably am older than what I look. I'm 53, I think now. So I've been working on this since my mid-20s. And so I've spent a couple of decades or more working on this thing. And then I've spent the last 10 years doing this full time, working with clients. And then all of the scientific research that has gone in. But not just that. All of the people that you see before you is just not even a fraction, less than a fraction of the people that we work with. We have people all over the world, all different races, nationalities, colors, all different kinds of languages. Some of them just are not here right now, but every person that comes through the program helps make the program better. Okay, so you're benefiting from thousands of clients and students and decades of research and experience and all the science out there that has to do with neuroplasticity and habit formation and learning and speaking skills. You're benefiting from that. You don't have enough time in your life to figure everything out on your own. None of us do. So basically, you're going to save a lot of time by plugging into a system that's already been developed for you, right? It's just going to save you a lot of time and work. So I just wanted to address that. Now let's take a quick look. Take a quick look at this, and then we'll have some other folks share their thoughts on this. We have this third aspect, third goal of Pro90D is to help you replace your speaking style. So we've talked about giving you a whole daily routine. We've talked about your mindset. Now we're going to talk about your speaking style, how you actually speak. So what do we use to help you do that? Well, one thing that we use is modeling. There's a great resource that I encourage all of my clients and students to read. It's called Alter Ego. Alter Ego. It's a book. I don't know how long it's been out, but we've been doing modeling since well before the book ever came out. But when I saw the book, I was like, this is excellent. There's lots of things to learn. They expand on things that I talk about. They even talk about more things than we talk about in the program. So it's an excellent book. But the thing that I want you to know is modeling is very natural. It's the initial way that you and I learn things. We learn things by just observing. Think way back before there were books, before there was video and audio. How did people learn things? They were passed down by the people around them. They were taught. They modeled. So it's one of the ways that you and I naturally learn is through observation, through modeling. And it's still one of the ways we learn. And sometimes you're not even conscious that you're modeling someone. This is the reason why you want to be careful about the people you hang around with, people that you talk to. There's a gentleman who's present today. I think his name is Drust. And he said that you hang out with people that are relaxed, that speak well. Absolutely. So if you want to speak well, hang out with people who speak well, because you'll naturally model them consciously and unconsciously. Okay. So modeling is one of the very foundational tools of Pro90D. And while some people think it's challenging, it actually is the easiest way. If you overthink it, it'll become really challenging. If you don't, and you just do what you did when you was a kid and just copy, it's very, very easy. It's uncomplicated. It's one of the fastest, best ways to transform your speech and your speaking identity. So modeling, proactive speaking skills. Proactive speaking skills are simply the skills that people use who speak well. They use body language. They use voice inflection. They articulate or enunciate well, right? All of those things and more, Pro90D teaches you. So it's not just helping you not stutter, it's helping you become an excellent speaker. Are there people who speak way better than I do? Absolutely. Of course there are. That's not the point. The point is for you to become the best speaker that you can become. Pro90D is designed for professionals who don't just want to not stutter. You want to become an excellent speaker. So proactive speaking skills helps you do that. And then we have a daily, we have a daily practice group. So what I'd like to do now is bring on a couple of other people. Actually, we have someone else here, Suman, and we have a couple more people that I may bring on a little later. Let's skip over here to who's a member of the daily speaking group where you attend on a pretty regular basis. Ganraj, yes. Suman, yes. Yeah. And Nadish. Let's go to you guys first, and then we'll come back to Dr. Vinja and some other folks to talk about the modeling and the speaking skills. All right. So Ganraj, I know you've been in there for a while. Speak to us a little bit about the daily speaking group, the importance, if you can be brief, and then I'm going to move down to Suman, and then we'll go over to some other folks. Okay, so Ganraj, yes, speak to us about that.
Sure. So I think that this daily group, which we have on the Hangout, has really impacted my thinking. It really changed. I think all of us have changed. the mindset or their visuals towards looking to themselves. And usually try to make sure that we try to use the things which we are currently working on the daily basis in those hangout meetings which we have, and the on the presentations that we guys usually do, we try to give the constructive feedbacks to the people who have given their presentation. And sometimes we try to change the mode of the speaking as well. We try to change it to the conversation mode, maybe just Q&A mode that we guys are holding now, that you can be interrupted at any time and the people will definitely ask you the question, just to build up the pressure on you. Because I think what happens is when you are experiencing something new, it's a bit difficult for you to manage with those situations. But when you get familiarized with the situation that you're facing, then I think this becomes the positive experience for you and you do not have as such problems while sharing the thoughts. So in I mean with respect to this group that we guys all have, I think more than 100 people have joined this conversations which we guys regularly do held, and I do have congratulated each one of us that who have actually presented in those daily hangout meetings, because it's really helpful. Because whatever the situations you are feeling on the daily basis, you try to get the feedbacks from the guys who have faced those situations or might be facing those situations as well. For example, if I try to give my example, a couple of weeks ago, I was not able to experience that kind of positive moments in my life in terms of speech. But I know that this is the placebo effect which I am experiencing, that you have taught, and I think all of the members also have taught in this hangout meeting, that you will definitely, or may not be definitely, but you will have this kind of experiences that you might experience, in which if you try to overcome those, then the rate of success will definitely going to be increased after that. And right now, I think you have completely made some sense. You of course made some sense, but I think this was the proof for the right direction of moving of me towards the speech journey. I think all of us will pretty much agree with me as well. So I thought that these are pretty much important to test ourselves on the regular basis that we guys usually do in this hangout meeting. So yeah.
Very good. Thank you very much. Yeah. So I just want to highlight that, and then we'll move on to Suman. Let me just remind you guys to try to be brief. I know it's hard for all of us, but try to be brief. But I do want you to get your point across. The self-study group is very, very important because, just like Ganraj said, it gives you an opportunity to put yourself under pressure in a safe environment to test yourself, which you absolutely must do either on your own or within the group. So I think it's better to try to do it at least in the group as well. Suman, say a little bit about your experience in the group. And so say a little bit about your experience in the group and how it's helping you with your speech and your mindset. And once again, I just want to remind us all to try to be brief.
First of all, thank you, Michael, and thank you, Sakshi, and the other members of the Pro90D speech system. It's an absolute pleasure to be part of this group. As far as the daily speech group that goes, it's a great platform because of two things. First is that you are speaking to absolute strangers. You're speaking to absolute strangers. You may not be on the same group of people the next day, number one. And number two, it gives you're not speaking on a pre-prepared topic. You're given the topic on the spot. So you have three challenges. You're speaking to strangers. Now, one, yes, you have to think on your feet to say whatever the topic you're presented with. And three is you have to use the technique that Michael teaches us in the Pro90D speech system, which is modeling, which is extending and blending and inflecting, and of course you have to completely have a different mindset when you're speaking. So this group is a perfect platform to go out there and use the skills that Michael is teaching us in the Pro90D speech system. And if we do it regularly, it's just a matter of time that we all become an excellent speaker. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you very much. So Dr. Vinya and Sakshi, I'd like for you two to talk about the modeling aspect and the speaking skills, how those two things have helped you, modeling and proactive speaking skills, because I know you guys do speak. I know the rest of you also do speaking as well. So Dr. Vinya, talk to us about that.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, I just want to tell everyone here that Pro90D actually has transformed me. It has made me from this timid, shy person to this confident and a very very superior speaker, I must say. So I feel modeling and being proactive are the two keys to unlock Pro90D. And I must say that Pro90D is like if I have to reframe it, it's like a yoga for me. I have to begin my day with Pro90D. I have to use affirmations. I have to do my breathing. I have to do modeling and just go through all the proactive skills in my mind and just practice it. Only then I start my day. So it's that an integral part of my life. I think Pro90D is a very, very important step for me to become the person I am, because I meet so many patients in my clinic every day. And I also run a school, so I have to talk to the teachers. I have to talk to so many students on an everyday basis. And modeling is the key. When I go to the clinic, I am another person. It's not this Vindhya. I'm Dr. Vindhya there. And when I'm in my school, I am another Vindhya. So it's like the alter ego, what Michael was talking about. I think that has had a profound impact on me. I have read the book and it's amazing. And I think for all of you out here watching this program, I think if you want to be a superior speaker, then this is the place. Because I have gone around the world, I have tried everything under the sun to be a superior speaker. But when I reached here, I think this was the answer for me. So, yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vinya. Sakshi and then Kieran, we're just talking about, of course you've been here, Kieran. In fact, I'm going to add in this last piece, and then I'm going to have Sakshi and Kieran address this. So just give me a second, guys, and then we're going to get right to you. I just want to add in this last piece here because it's relevant. So we're talking about replacing your speaking style, and let's look at how to replace your speaking identity. I'll explain that in a few minutes down the road, but modeling, practical application, modeling, as well as getting out there and using what you're learning on a daily basis. Just as you've heard everyone say today, they use it in their work, they use it at home, they also use it in our practice groups. So Sakshi and then Kieran, talk to us about modeling, proactive speaking skills, as well as practical application and so forth. So let's go with Sakshi first.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. And when we talk about modeling, it really provided a foundation for me to transform my speech. And now I don't even think about it. When I had started, I used to think about it a lot. And that's how it became a habit for me. And now I don't have to consciously think about modeling, because somewhere at the back of my mind, I'm already doing that. And that's where the skills also come into place, because the skills are embedded in the modeling. So while I am modeling, I'm already practicing the skills. And yeah, what was the last point you mentioned?
Yeah, so just maybe how you're using this in your daily life. Maybe just briefly talk about some of the things you're doing right now as a professional.
Yes, right now I self-talk. I talk to myself and tell myself I'm a great speaker. And every time I feel that I may get stuck, I just remind myself that I have the tools that I just need to use. So that's right. So
Yeah. Now how do you apply that? Like, what kinds of things are you doing as a professional right now? Like, tell people, in a sense, where you're working and what you do that requires you to speak.
So I'm a teaching fellow. I teach classes at Harvard, and while facilitating sections, sometimes I have to speak a lot to students. I have meetings. I'm also doing research work, so it requires me to speak to people quite often. And while I'm doing it, there are so many skills that I've learned from Pro90D that I am able to use in those very quiet situations. So while I'm on a meeting, I make sure that it's at the back of my mind, and now it's become very easy. So it's just very quick to jump into it.
Very good. Very good. Thank you.
Your question.
No, that was good. That was good. That's good. So Kieran, so you're an attorney, right? So tell us how the modeling, which you may or may not be doing now, I'm not sure, but the modeling, practice speaking skills, practical application, how do you use that in your daily communication? Hello, Kieran, are you there? I think her video just froze up, but she'll be back.
Oh, yeah, I'm
in a
sorry.
minute.
I don't think I didn't hear my name. I'm sorry. I took it kind of, yeah, sorry. Okay, going for it. Okay. Hi, everyone. So I'm going to talk a little bit about modeling. So modeling for me has been an actual journey, because when it started out, I remember that I had to really focus on practicing a lot by myself. And my model was Michael, and he's a very easy individual to have as a model, because you've got access to all these videos of him speaking, right? So it's a great way for you to really not only digest the content itself, but to also learn more about the way he uses his hands, the expressions that he uses, the way he likes to inflect his voice. So I worked a lot on my own. So the idea was that you practice as much as you can. You do that when you have space and time on your own, so that you're able to transfer all of those skills when you talk to other people. You start off with your family. You make these random calls. You go to the grocery store. I remember the one thing that I hated was going to Starbucks, because I had to say my name. So I try going to Starbucks as much as I can and trying to use modeling there. And now I feel like I have reached a point in time. And I'd like to add one little point here, that the whole idea behind learning modeling, and that is actually something that you learn in the system too, which is that you're trying to learn all of the skills that are required for you to become an incredible speaker. And eventually, the goal is that you're going to develop your own speaking style. So I think that is what has happened to me now, where I am a little bit of Michael, I am a lot of Michael, and I'm a little bit of Kiran too. So I have a merged speaking style now. So when I speak now, I know that I have this little toolbox in the back of my head, where anytime I feel stressed, I know that I just have to grab onto the tools that I've learned through modeling. It could be maybe inflecting, maybe extending, and I know that I'm going to speak well. So that's where I'm at right now.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. So what I want to do now is I'm going to take maybe a couple of minutes really quick and show you the course. Then we're going to come back and take a few more minutes to take some questions. So Sakshi, and in fact, all of you, you can just look through the chat and see if there are some questions that we haven't addressed. And when we come back, let's take some time to answer those questions. Those of you that need to leave, feel free to leave. But I do want to show people really quickly what the course actually looks like. Some of you've seen it and some of you haven't. So basically, when you come here to Pro90D, you can be greeted with this page. There's lots of information on here. It should answer all of your questions. Hopefully, we've answered a lot of your questions today. But what we want to do now is just look and see how the course is structured. It's very clear. It says start here first. And these videos, in fact, some of them are free preview, so you can actually go and watch them now. But it really sets up your expectations, what you can expect as you go through the course. It will tell you how to access the SoundWise, which is the mobile application. So you do get a dedicated mobile application for listening to audio, right? It also gives you a link to join our WhatsApp group, all right, which is huge. Having the community with you and behind you and having access to this on your phone is really, really helpful. They can all tell you this. Prerequisites. These are the things that will give you the foundation to be successful in the program. So you see those there. More prerequisites. Remember, I told you about the science of it. We go through that, and I show you how to use the science. I don't just talk about the science, but I say, here's how to use the science to make the program work for you. Then we have another prerequisite. Give me just a second. Someone is typing, so I just want to see if we can mute everyone. Yes, okay, there we go, got it. So this prerequisite is an older course that I had. So for those of you that may be more severe stutterers or stammerers, this course is excellent for you to go through, lays everything out, and that's available. Self-talk is probably the most, I used to say it's one of the most, and it is one of the most, but out of the one of the most, it's the most, it's at the top. The most important thing. Without self-talk, none of this really works, right? Even the mod, you have to be able to tell yourself to do certain things. So I think self-talk is number one. Modeling is it's a close second. It's right there, almost number one. For sure, you can model someone unconsciously, in which case you wouldn't need self-talk. But for adults, self-talk is probably the most important aspect of this entire process, to one degree or another. Then we go right into helping you change your speaking identity, give you exercises, we give you a daily blueprint. This is what you need to do each and every day, right? We go further into speaking identity. What is it? What is modeling? How to make an emotional, mental imprint of your model. You'll see some of these things in the alter ego, right? Now, some of you will say, okay, well, let me just try to piece together this program. Let me go get this book and get that. Well, by the time you spend the money to get all of the information that's included in this program, I have a whole list that's not even a complete list of resources that I've read over the years, right? A whole list. By the time you bought all those things, you could have bought the program. The thing you can't do is you can't take all the years that it's taken me and all of the time that other people have put. You can't buy that, right? You can't buy it outside of this program. So if you try to piece it all together, it's going to take you years. And by that time, there's something called opportunity cost. You would have lost jobs. You would have lost opportunities. So yes, we do want to encourage you to get into the system because it's going to save you time. More importantly, it's going to help you step into the life that you want sooner than later. So you're going to be able to earn that money back. You're going to be able to have the opportunities, take advantage of the opportunities that you've wanted to sooner than later. We're talking months, right? Not years. So we have all these modeling case studies, and then we have modeling practice clips in the actual course. I've added even more than what you see here. Relaxing, clients will tell you how important it is to be relaxed. So we go through that. Then we go into some more advanced stuff, right? We talk about the speaking skills. These are the same skills that anyone that you see who's a good speaker, great speaker, excellent speaker, they're going to use at least some of these skills, if not all of them. They're probably going to use all of these. It's all in here. It's all in here. Conversations, presentations, how to think on your feet, reading aloud, talking on the telephone, all in here. Then we're talking about something called VIC. Some of you have heard me talk about it. It's a tool that you can use when you're speaking to a person or a group to help you get out of yourself, to get out of your own head and really start thinking about why you're talking to that person, how you want to impact that person. That's in here. For those of you that have to make presentations, whether it be to one person or many, you have a whole system that many of my clients have used for years. That's all in here. And then we have a module on interviewing. That's in there. This is a complete system for you. And so we want to encourage you to take advantage of it. So let's take some time now and answer any questions. So if you guys have seen any questions that we didn't address, let me know and let's address those questions here. We'll just go around. Again, those of you that need to hop off, please do so. We'll probably just be here for another 5 or 10 minutes answering some questions. So, Sakshi, what questions do we have that maybe we didn't address? Like, do you see any, or do any of you other guys see any questions that maybe we haven't addressed? Or is there something relevant to what we've talked about today that you can briefly share that you feel like people need to know? If you do, just raise your hand and we'll get you in here. Okay, Farouk, yes, go ahead and turn your mic on.
Thank you, Mr. Michael. So, Mr. Abdullah just mentioned here in the chat that he said that I have been working on my own. So, has it been hard for me to really change my speech? As most of you guys might already know, that I have not been working one-on-one with Mr. Michael Williams. I hope I had worked with him one-on-one. So I had to work on my own. And for the first 1 year or so, it was hard for me. And the main reason for that was as I was working on my own. So sometimes when you're working on your own, you feel like you should work on something else. Right now, you should not work on your speech. There is something else that might be more important. So you are not working on your speech as much. And that is the main reason why Mr. Michael always says that working with him one-on-one is the best way, to change your speech. But fortunately, what happened is that I guess from the month of March, after this lockdown period had started, we, as mentioned by Mr. Ganraj and Mr. Suman, we are having from the month of March these daily conversations where we speak each day and we really get some great feedbacks. So we also know what we have to work on. And since we have an idea that we have to go out there and speak well in the group conversation, so we know that we have to work on our speech each day since we want to go out there and speak well in those group conversations. And as we go out there, we have some really successful speaking experiences in those group conversations. After that, when we go out there in the real world, we have those experiences in the back of our mind, and that really helps us speak really, really very well. So in short, I have been working on my own, but not really on my own for the last few months. Yeah. So that is what has really helped.
I thank you for it. We've designed the self-study so that you can do this on your own, even though you're not really on your own. You're within the group. I've designed it so that you can do that, right? But some of you will just know, hey, I need one-on-one attention. I need one-on-one accountability. Sometimes people have lots of questions that they need an expert to answer, right? Their peers may not be able to dig in and answer. They may not have the time or whatever, or the expertise. So for those of you that want or need that, that's where the coaching kind of comes from. And you can go to our website, pro90d.com. There's some links up there for coaching as well. But here's a link to check out the coaching, pro90d.com, private smooth speech coaching, or you can search it in Google, but it's there. We'll also put it in the description. Now, for those of you that might be interested in the self-study, just go to pro90d.com. Everything that you need is there, but I would say equally as important as the course is the community of people who are there, who've gone through this, and they can give you the feedback, the encouragement, the accountability, and all of that. The community is extremely powerful, and I've seen people improve who've been working on their own. And once this community got going, I watched them improve over a course of 2 to 3 months. So that's very, very powerful, actually. Let's just, I'd like to have Nadish and Sakshi kind of wrap us up, because Nadish, you do a lot of speaking, you have a lot of meetings and so forth. So for someone who's out there thinking about Pro90D, they're professionals, or they have a professional mind, and they're thinking about it, and they're wondering, will this work? Will I do the work? And is it worth the investment in time? I'd like for you guys just to address that, and then we'll let people go. I don't want to go too much longer. So Nadish, speak to that question. What does this actually work? Is it something that people can actually do, or is it just too hard? Right? And is it worth the investment?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Michael. So I would say that yes, I know it's a big investment. So I was a one-on-one coaching student of Michael Williams, and I know the investment is like really big. At that particular moment, I really started my career in 2018, and it was a very, very big investment for me. But with a very conscious mind, I took that step that, okay, if I want to improve in life, because I was about to basically change my job, and I wanted to shift to a very good organization. I would say one of the big fours. I was earlier working in one of the mediocre firms. So I always had a thought that, okay, if I want to move to a next level and maybe to a big four, I need to have that communication skills, and I need to have that command over my speech, which will basically help me in getting that new job. Okay, so I thought about it, and I knew that there were a lot of free courses available, and okay, we have this self-study group. But then I thought about it, and I went for this coaching class because I was really struggling back in 2018. I was not a good speaker. I would say I rated myself as a 2 or 3 in one of the coaching classes with Michael, and I was like really pathetic with my words, and I was really shaky and used to just chop my words. Was really fast. But then I think I just thought that, okay, in the next 2 to 3 years, if I will be in a good position, I will anyways earn, right? So I made that investment in myself. We do investment in FDs, fixed deposit, maybe shares, mutual funds. Sometimes there's a loss, but I just thought that, okay, I'll gain from here, so there'll be no loss for me, right? And I was really amazed with my journey within that those 2 months, because these are like one-on-one coaching classes with Michael. It's just 1.5 or 1 hour class wherein my confidence level really boosted up, and I was able to apply to these courses really, really well, I would say. And I could see a drastic improvement in my speech. In only 2 months, I would say I reached from a level of 3 to maybe a 6, and then we worked even more harder and harder, and I am today what I am. And I think it has really changed my life. And think it as an investment, I would say. Don't think it as an expense, think it as an investment, and I am very much sure that this investment is not going to fall. It's anyways going to go double or maybe triple. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nadish. Sakshi and then Kieran, same question.
Yeah, so I just have one point that there's no value to the confidence that you will gain after you complete the program. So if you're not doing it for anything material, I think you should definitely do it to increase your self-confidence and your speech. And it definitely comes back, like everything that you invest your time, money, it all comes back. I would not have even thought of working at a place like Harvard ever. And I think Michael's program really helped me believe in myself and just reach for my dreams.
Thank you, Sakshi. So Kiran, yeah, the question was, just briefly share how, for someone who's watching this, they're checking out Pro90D, will this actually work? They're a stutterer, they're a stammerer, they speak too fast, whatever it is. And they're saying, okay, this is too good to be true. I've tried every program, even tried Pro90D. So does this really work? Will it work for that person? Will the person do the work? Obviously, is it too hard for people to actually do? And then, is it a good investment? Is it a good investment?
All right. Okay. So the first question being, does it really work? Yes, it does work. It really does work. Will it work? I think the answer to that question is yes, it will work if you put in the work. This is not a magical remedy. I think that anything worthwhile takes a lot of work to make happen. It takes a lot of effort, and this is no different. So yes, it is going to work, but you have to be clear about what you're trying to achieve. You have to be clear about what your goals are for yourself, and you have to be willing to invest the time and the money. So is the investment, again, worth it is? It really, really is. And when I was a kid, I did actually go attend another program. I've done all of that, and I've done this. And to anybody who's watching this live right now, please have no doubt. It really does work. Just be clear about where you want to get and do the work. You'll get there.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So guys, we're going to wrap up here. I want to thank everyone who came to be a part of this, students, clients. Sakshi, thank you. Thank all of you guys for being here. Thank all of you who are watching this on Facebook as well as on YouTube. We're going to allow this recording to kind of stay out there. And if you guys have questions, please feel free to visit our website and post your questions there. There's a little chat bubble where you can post your questions. We'll be doing these. Again, Sakshi is a trained coach, and she's available to do coaching as well. So you won't just need to coach with me, but you can coach with her. She's done this before. And when you join Pro90D, you get all the videos, you get the audios, you get a raw PDF transcript. We're still working on those, but you get that. You get a dedicated mobile app that's for audio. And you get the community. You get the community that we've been talking about. You get to practice with people. And most importantly, you get to take your speech and therefore your career and your life to the next level in a relatively short period of time. We're usually talking months where you can see a tremendous difference in your life. So like Kiran said, you got to do the work. Just like anything else, you got to do the work. You're learning a language, you're learning a skill. It doesn't happen automatically. You have to do the work. So if you do the work, then this will work. It's just the way your brain works, right? All right. Very good. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're going to wrap up now, and we'll see you all later. Thank you all for taking your time to be here.
Okay. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.